Thank you. I'm so glad to meet all of you. I've been hearing really interesting things about teaching and learning here, like less testing, more teaching. I thought, wow, that's fantastic. About the talk tonight, the theme of beautiful whole, you may be wondering what that's about. It's really an aspiration that teaching and learning in the environment will all be connected. I think a lot of what's happened in terms of where's my space has to do with technology and a network. We look at traditional networks, they were very hierarchical. They went from the province to the superintendent to the principal to teachers and then down to students. So looking at that diagramming in terms of floor plans, we've got individually owned rooms. This is a very traditional classroom. We're all used to seeing this: corridors, classrooms, and teachers. Now in this model, in a learning community model, we no longer have every teacher having their own individual classroom. So where is my classroom? Well, my classroom is spread throughout this environment. To get us going, I think we'll talk about 20 learning modalities. It's a key process we use in our discovery process as we plan schools around the world. Student presentations. This is a lovely little renovation in Minneapolis. Got a lot of questions last night about how does this work for renovation? And I'm going to show a renovation case study soon. But the idea that students can present is so important. A lot of our high schools, students have to make over 100 presentations before they graduate. Roundtable discussion, like a seminar room, and you'll see in a lot of our designs that in addition to having classrooms or learning studios, there's a lot of middle-sized spaces, interdisciplinary learning. I think this is a goal. We hear about this typically at upper secondary school. We want to be interdisciplinary, a university concept. In fact, it's throughout, from pre-K through university. All learning should be interdisciplinary. All of it should be integrated. And so we want spaces that support that. Naturalist learning. Everywhere we go, people respond the most to this modality. People feel more connected to themselves, more to each other, more peaceful. They feel more emotionally grounded when there's a connection to nature. Brian, which learning modalities were important at your table?
Well, we did narrow down to 5 in our discussion, but we realized for every single student, there'll be a different 5 that connect for them.
The question about teacher collaboration, what you want to do is create an aspiration for that. And I think integrated curriculum is something you could spend more time on. So I've heard about social studies and English language teachers or language arts teachers working together. Well, that's the beginning, a kind of affinity grouping. If it's a one-story building, we've brought in those small solar skylights. That helps. It's not the same thing as a vista, but we've also done lots of things with lighting. Most of our projects have 4 or 5 different kinds of lighting. The typical lighting for a school, the approach is generally even lighting. All the building codes were based on factory type codes where you want an even 55-foot candles at the desk type everywhere, as though kids were working in a factory. For you in Manitoba, get over being humble. That may be your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. We keep talking about teachers getting out of their comfort zone. What about you? If you're the best in the world, you may well be. Clearly you're at the best in the world at some things. And if you think about probably the most seminal book in business in the last 15 years, it's Jim Collins' Good to Great. And so you may have even done some workshops with it. I see a little nodding. And one of the things that Jim Collins said is that you want to be a successful business, you have to be the best in the world at what you do.